Hello, everyone. Welcome
Hello,
back to Two
hello.
Grown Men. Hello. Shalafia new.
How you guys
How's it
doing?
going?
Not bad,
Yeah,
though.
what's
How
up
you
with you? How
doing?
you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
not
alive
bad.
and
Glad it's the
well.
weekend, Glad it's the weekend.
It's the weekend, though. It's the
Yes,
weekend.
yes,
It's the
yes,
weekend.
yes.
Thank God. Thank God it's Saturday.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is social
Gang,
media
gang.
making us more individual and less connected?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Was that answer too simplistic?
Let's break
But
it down. Break it down. Break it down. In what way? In your
uh,
view.
I think in terms of making us more of individuals, the fact is that you can be on your device in your house and have access to the entire world without having to. You can engage without having to leave where you are. So you
Mm.
can be on your phone and scroll, watching videos, uh, watching whatever is going on in the world, engaging with gossip and whatever it is, without having to make another physical human connection. Which is why you'll see people at dinner, they're at a restaurant, they're at dinner, they're at a party. People are in clubs and they're on their phones.
Is that not antisocial, though?
It is, I mean, it is antisocial. Yeah. People are engaging more with the people, with the world on their device than they are with the world around them. And it's the nature of the beast. When we were growing up, you had to talk to somebody because even your telephone, your parents have locked the phone.
Yes.
You have to tap. Did you ever tap?
Yes, 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 yes.
So we didn't have to do that, but fact of the matter is that most people their phone was locked anyway. My house before was not
That's
locked.
even if you are if your phone was connected. There were times
So
your
that
phone
was
got
our
shut
own
off
problem.
for whatever
The
reason,
phone was never
notification of
working. So
bill,
it
you
did,
didn't pay your bill.
yeah. Our line was just problematic. So it didn't matter whether we look, but my parents didn't need to lock the phone. That line was not working. That Nitel line was not working. It didn't work all the time. So they didn't need to lock it. You know? So whenever the phone was working, you're on the phone, hello, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, but I mean, then the thing is, the person had to be at home now, and then some
Yeah.
people they were not allowed to even to receive calls. You had to receive a call in front of your parents.
It was a big
I think
deal.
if you had friends like that, yeah, that they couldn't receive a call and go and sit down in their room or sit somewhere else. They had to take the call, and their parents were sitting there supervising them, just
Having the most
monitoring what
awkward,
are you
yeah, but
saying.
I mean, needs must.
Yeah. But today, your device, the whole world is in your hand. You can engage, whether it's YouTube, you're engaging and you're watching videos. And I mean, the variety of videos on YouTube, there are millions of topics, right? So you could be watching or engaging on. So do you really need to speak to another human being?
Yes.
Well, need to.
You
Outside
know, I say
work.
yes. Because
Yeah.
there are empirical studies and there's data
Yeah.
that came out after COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and depression levels and the S word
Mm-hmm.
went up after COVID. This is verifiable in many
Oh
countries,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Japan,
Oh yeah.
UK, US.
Oh yeah.
That's number one. Number two, we are social animals by nature. This is the first
Mm-hmm.
time in the history of the world, and that's because technology enabled us to get to this point where people are becoming too individualistic for the majority of. That's why we have things like Tales by Moonlight. We have people
Yeah. Oh
that
yeah.
go back home to their villages for Christmas and have their
Yep.
cousins and everybody else around, and people, it's the idea behind, is one of the reasons why people throw parties. People just think
Yep.
people throw parties because, oh, that person just has excess money. Yeah, there's the element of the person may have a lot of money and the person may like entertaining people,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact is they want people around them. That is, there's still that
Mm-hmm.
communal feel.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time in human history, and I don't think the impacts are fully understood. I think when major change happens, when culture changes, when there's a sociological impact on a certain um, certain number of people for a period of time, it will always take, at least in my opinion, anything between 15 to 25 years. And we haven't got that yet because social media is still very new. Don't forget, social media really only kicked off when there was an integration with the smartphone and the www. So from 2005 to about 2011, social media was slow because
Yeah.
most people had to go to their laptops and their computers to connect to MSN Manager, Messenger, and all those other
Messenger, yeah, yeah.
etc. But the minute we were able to get the iPhone, the BlackBerry, and some other devices, probably say late 2009, but really full adoption really came from 2011. And that's when, shortly after, WhatsApp came, and then it took off because now we
Yeah.
have technology that was mobile. So you didn't have to go back
Yeah.
home to check your messages. And now the data, well, as long as you had data, you could scroll quickly, you could access web pages and it will load quickly. It wasn't waiting. Remember those days to wait and wait before it loads. So once the technology caught up on the mobile phones and you could take it around, it really took off. So if you and I agree that, let's say between anything between 2009 and 2011, that is still just 15 years. It's not enough. We don't know enough about the impacts, but we're seeing people decline in our very
Yeah.
eyes. Social media. We've seen. Look, there's always been peer pressure. There's
Yeah.
peer pressure in our parents' time, their grandparents' time, and so on and so forth. There've always been people that had more than others. There've always been people that have been more influential than others, and there've always been people who have felt a certain type of way because they have not been able to meet up. But now it's in your face. You don't have to read a magazine to know it's in your face. Literally every single time. Well, you can argue that you can go to some, you have to avoid some sites, but people will still send them to you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Send them
Oh
to
yeah.
you on your phone and say, this person. So I think we have more access to people compared to before, but I'm not so sure that we are more connected to those people because now we have an alternative. So before you would have to say, I haven't seen this person Mutiri in a long time. I haven't seen this in a long time. Let me make the effort to go and see him, or let me make the effort to go and see her. Now you don't need to make that effort if you don't want to, because they are just here, right? To your point, you can reach out to them, but it solves some problems. It solves the geographical problem, especially if you live in different countries, different time zones, and the issue, like you mentioned earlier, the phone isn't working, etc. Now you can reach out to that person. There's even video technology on video calls where you can see the person. I mean, it's not physical seeing, but it'll suffice. So there are some advantages with it.
So I think you're actually addressing a different question now. I think you're addressing what you're speaking to is social media making us happy or unhappy? Is it making us miserable? Is that what you're, because rather than, I think we frame the question as, is it making us isolated? Is it making us more alone? But I think you're addressing it.
Yeah, let's go.
I think what you're addressing in this is actually, is social media making us miserable or making us unhappy? And which is a very natural segue of the conversation. And I think it's definitely making us unhappy. I think, I mean, if you go back to what you said about
Pressure.
pressure and depression rates following lockdown, because you'd argue that there was no better time to be locked down as a human being than 2020 in terms of technology, right? You had Zoom, okay? You had Google Meet. So you could work remotely, you could talk to people. You had Clubhouse, you had is it party house party and these social
There's so
apps.
many apps, so many.
There's so many. So I mean, in theory, there was no better time to be locked down than in 2020 because there was no technology for you to be part of a global village, even though you were in a cell by yourself, in this little space by yourself. But you were actually part of a world that was the world didn't really stand still. It continued moving. The world, it just shifted, but it kept going, right? But it also exposed just how much you need human contact.
Critical.
Yeah, and social media is, I mean, first of all, it's showing us a world. Do you remember MTV Raps? Do you remember MTV Cribs?
Yes.
And that was, for a lot of us, our first insight into how the other side lived. Yeah, there were movies, there were TV shows and co. But MTV Cribs was you seeing the celebrity, the star that you know. Oh, that's Method Man's house.
This is how they live.
You know, is that how Ja Rule is living? You know, it's one thing to see these things in music videos, but music videos are music, they're curated, right? But when you with the house, it was like reality TV. Even though we later found that some of those houses were rented houses and
Many
some of
of
those
them.
cars, I mean, those cars of houses were rented, you know, the cars were rented cars and all that. But
Even
for the
my
most
ride.
yeah, I mean that was Scam Central. That was Scam Central. But the point I'm making is with social media, you got to see, you're now getting a chance to see how the other side lives in real time. Your friends are posting their travel. The people that you know very well, you're seeing their lives. You're seeing things that you probably wouldn't have access to a normal day. Look, if I don't send you pictures of my holiday, you can't know I'm on holiday, right?
People needed
to come
see to your house to look at your album to know what your wedding is. Now your wedding pictures are everywhere.
In real time. I was at a party last week, and somebody said to me while I was at the party, "Oh, you're so person's party."
Oh, because somebody was streaming.
Are you here? Yeah, but it was being streamed on some influencers on somebody's Instagram feed. One of these had it, like one of these bloggers had it live on their
imagine
feed, right?
Just imagine.
And then there were multiple people, multiple friends taking pictures and posting online and co. And so my friend was like, you're so person's party. I was like, how do you know? She goes, you're all over the place. And then she sends me a couple of clips of that. So you're walking past somebody's picture. She sent me this picture where it's my profile, right? Because I'm walking past someone who's doing who's taking a picture or doing a live. And that's Laomi. And I didn't post it. I didn't ask to be put on social media. I was not advertising where I was. Somebody else was advertising where they were. Yeah. But so you're now seeing how the other side live, which takes to the next point where we say that comparison is a thief of joy. And nothing fuels comparison like social media does.
It is horrible. Do you know it has to be studied because there's an addiction. There's something I know people that have been personally addicted to social media because of these things that you're saying, like, oh, my wedding has to be, or my next holiday has to be, or my next this, or my next that, based on
TikTok, absolutely,
Instagram, and the lives, whether those lives are real lives or they're created lives or they're lies, and some of them maybe probably real as well. People that's the next level addiction now, beyond drugs, beyond alcohol, etc. That I have to get that lifestyle, and I will do anything to get it. And not only get it, but after I get it, I will post it.
Yes.
So you can see that I have it and I'm living it. So there are two things.
Yeah. And it's creating its own sort of problems. The need to show off. The need to show off my life. I'm balling. I saw a very unfortunate video the other day. It was a girl who was killed by her boyfriend. And look, it's very, very tragic. But I couldn't help but think, this is one of the casualties of this social media thing where people are now just they're about the let me posts, let me show I'm living the life. And so you're going to hang out with people whom you have no business hanging out with. So you have the guys who will do anything to trend, who will do anything to have a life they can publish on social media. And
Mm,
the honest 9 to 5 job will not get you there in time. So people that are doing
mm.
like we discussed on this channel, the Yahoo boys, Yahoo plus boys, who
Yes.
are doing it just so they can post videos online and
Yes.
oppress their friends
Yes.
of them popping. And then you have the girls who also need to show. And out of this desire to pursue the soft life. Because I never had the soft life until a few years ago.
It's
When we
a
were growing up,
relatively
you had to work hard.
new
You knew you had
concept.
to work. Yeah. When we were growing
Work
up, you
hard
knew you had to finish school, get a good job,
and work hard.
and work hard. But now it's nobody wants to work for five
But
hundred
it sounds
thousand
like
naira
it's
a month.
fueled by this social media thing
And yeah,
because
social
it's
people are
everywhere.
exactly, exactly. And now you're dealing with people, the pressure, the social pressure to belong, to show, to floss, to flash. And
Yeah.
I just thought I was like,
And
these
I
two
know
people.
personally, I know a few people who are very prudent and
Mm,
frugal in their finances who have told me that if not for their foundation,
yeah,
if not for their foundation, they would have also like
yeah,
okay, that 8-year-old car had to go, but or 7-year-old car had to go because of the pressures of if I pull up in this, people are going to judge me and all of it's all still linked to this thing
yeah.
we're talking about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it is making us miserable. I look at that poor girl and I thought,
So you believe that people are
but for
now
this
slaves
pressure,
to
oh
their
yeah,
because see, so it's like you have two personas now. So you have your real persona, that's who you are, and then you also have your social media persona.
yeah,
So are we saying now that people now get addicted to who their social media persona is or who they
oh
want
yeah,
their social media persona
to be,
to be based on somebody else's followership or whatever?
yeah, somebody else's life. What somebody else is posting is putting you under pressure. Do you remember this guy, Osh Poppy?
Attention.
Do you remember Osh Poppy?
Yes, of course, of course.
I mean, remember Osh Poppy and his crew, all right? All that posting, all that social media. Every time Osh Poppy put up a post, you see people say, God, when no tension, Baba, I admire you. I want to be like you. Nobody understands how he's able to afford that life.
And people didn't ask questions. You notice,
Nobody
well,
asks
some people did,
questions.
but most people didn't. No.
It was like, oh, see this guy's life, man. And you're craving the life without understanding the price that the guy's having to pay to live that life.
Hmm.
Because it's not an easy life. And it's not that life, the life they're portraying is not the life that they actually live. And then what sacrifices are you making? What
Hmm.
risks are you taking to live that life?
It's like
Because
what
I
they
don't
say
think that
about
because of Hush Puppy,
delayed gratification.
I don't
You
think
want
that, but for
instant,
social
that's
media,
another thing
Hush
about
Puppy
social
would
media,
not
instant gratification. Nah, nah, nah,
instant
nah, nah.
gratification. Yeah, the likes, the like culture, the likes, the comments, the adoration, the
Let's get
emojis
into
and
that.
co the tension. Yeah.
Let's look at that. Let's talk about that. So we talk about like the wealth part. How are people shaped by the likes, the I've had people say to me, if I take a picture in a certain way, I only get 4 likes. But if I wear a certain outfit, I can get up to 600 likes.
Dopamine.
So it's almost as if that, like you said, dopamine, that
It's
feel
dopamine.
good, like I
Yeah.
need this
People are
attention.
liking me. You're liking, oh my God, this video like got 100 likes, got 1,000 likes. Got, look, you and I, two grown men, we publish a video and we get 20 likes. It doesn't feel good.
Hmm.
Sorry, you get 20 views.
20 views, yeah, not 20
It
likes.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel good.
On the
20
topic of
likes.
likes, make it 21 views, or if you're watching
Please
it or more.
subscribe, like,
Yeah.
subscribe, give us a thumbs up,
Give
please.
us a thumbs up.
Feed our dopamine.
Yes. Go
Yeah,
on,
but
go
I
on,
mean,
go on.
so what I'm saying is because you put in this effort. Now, you might argue that podcasting and co, there's a lot of effort involved in it.
Mhm.
You try and make a distinction between this and someone just posting pictures of themselves standing around. But look, I'm at parties and there are grown women dancing, making a video of themselves dancing and publishing it online. Why are you publishing a video of yourself dancing now?
Why?
Like, why?
It's the dopamine.
Look, even if it was fun at one point, the novelty should have worn off by now. But the likes, the adoration, Faji, enjoyment mama, chief rocker, Faji master, validating you.
Yeah, it's validation.
You get the dopamine rush. I'm popular. I'm famous. I'm popular. How many followers do I have on social media? Okay. I mean, again, you can't take away from the guys for whom social media is their livelihood, the influencers, people for whom social media is their primary source of wealth.
Social media.
Yeah.
So for those people, then it's a business.
It's a business, but it's also there. But again, there's what kind of business are you doing? So take people like Marcus Brownlee. Take people that their social media is not based on me acting the fool.
They're educating.
They're educating. They're creating content that edifies, that educates, that enlightens, that shows you a different world. It's not quote unquote envy content. It's not picture me on that cruise ship. Look, it's also then taught us to dream, though. It's opened our eyes to things that we probably would never have seen. How else would you, if you're not one of the 1%, how else would you see what the interior of a super yacht looks like?
Yes.
Apart from maybe the pages of a magazine. How do you know what to aspire to?
Or how it's built, to your point.
How it's built.
Or the safety things that have to go into the manufacture.
Or even just teaching you to dream, to aspire, teaching that anything is possible. So it's not all bad.
No, it's not all bad. Let me give you an example of what I personally learned. So I do a bit of DIY, and sometimes the instructions that come with certain things, like I assembled a stool the other day, and the instructions that came with the package,
furniture,
wasn't clear. They don't put a lot. It's not like those days where they had a manual. Was really, now it's just a bunch of pictures, etc. So
yeah,
I looked at it and I tried to work it out, and like, no, I'm not going to waste time on this thing. So social media, I went into YouTube, typed in the actual name of the stool.
I
put it there, and it brought a bunch of videos. I selected the video I wanted, and there was a 12-minute video on how to assemble it. And the person did an unboxing, sat down on the floor, was putting it together, got the Allen key out, put the screws in, this B12 screw, B6 screw, and I paused. Did the same way on pause.
12 steps,
again. I've learned to make some dishes as well, food wise.
Oh yeah.
One badass beans the other day,
Send me the recipe.
Get me, I'll hook you up. Kemi is watching. Well done. Keep up the good work.
Kemi, well done.
Yeah, so things like that, a few things where you would have had to maybe call. So basic things that I've been able to. I had a toilet that was blocked the other day. I had to watch a bunch of videos, and I was able to get the actual plunger by going to the store. And when I did it, the same way that the guy did it, an actual plumber who had a plumbing channel on YouTube, I was able to unblock it within 12 seconds. Now, prior to watching that video, it was almost a day and a half of pouring water, etc. Point I'm making is the video I watched showed 5 ways to unblock a toilet. 5 ways. I didn't even know there were 5 ways. I just thought it was
I didn't know that either.
Water.
Yeah.
So it's things like that, the educational part. So things, if you want to learn about investment, if you want to learn about so many different things, there's so much. Of course, you have to curate what you watch, because not all information is good information. So that's where you do your own research. But there's a vast amount of information out there. And I think if you use the tools well, If you use social media well, it can assist you. But because it's not curated, my issue with it is
Yeah.
it's not curated and it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not regulated. It's not regulated. It's not like some certain sectors where you can say this place is regulated. Nobody owns the internet. The American government doesn't own it. The UK government doesn't own it. Nigerian government, nobody owns it. There's nobody that can say I'm the owner of internet. The only thing
Yeah.
you can do is certain places they have you can report if somebody is making content that is illegal or you feel offended, you can report that account. But nothing stops that person from opening a new account, a new alias, etc. You get the point. So it's not regulated. So because it's not regulated, you also have a duty of care to control what you consume. Because if you don't control what you consume, and to Lami's point about how it can impact you socially, mentally, psychologically, tension, uh, peer pressure, low self esteem, all of that stuff, you will, it's how you consume it. So let me give you an example. A medical student who wants to be a cosmetic surgeon can go on YouTube to watch a video of another experienced surgeon who has put a video on how that procedure is done. That's going to help that person in the medical studies. But somebody else can watch another video on cosmetic surgery and their
Yeah.
own
Take from it.
take from it is I need to do it so I can make more money. Are
Yeah.
you guys with me? So
Yeah.
so the information is there. It's what you use it for and
Yeah.
what resonates with you. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it on the internet. You'll find it on social media.
Oh
So
yeah.
you
Oh
also
yeah.
have a duty of care to protect what comes into you because you become what you consume invariably.
But not everyone is that
What are the
strong.
authorities doing about it? I know a few countries, like in China and a few other countries, have tried. Even when they do it, people say, "Oh, they are draconian. Let people do what they want." But some governments are saying, "No, this is harmful to our children. We don't
I
want
think
them."
Australia has banned social media for children, for people below the age of
UK
15
is
or
doing it
something.
next year. Australia did it. I mean,
Yeah.
UK 15-year-olds can open a TikTok account without their parents' consent. I don't think that's right. In
And
Australia,
I agree.
14 is the age in Australia. So UK is trying to get it to 14, but then they have to pass it through first reading, second reading before it becomes a bill and then becomes an actual law. So it will take time to go through the houses. But these are the things that they are now discovering these things because they are now seeing a higher level of people that are underage that are consuming large amounts of social media and their brains are
Yeah.
not ready to pick these kinds of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
constantly scrolling, constantly consuming content that they should not be consuming at that age.
Consuming. Yeah.
Even adults are struggling.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
imagine what underage people are going to be going through with social media.
Yeah. I
What
definitely
about the
agree.
addictive element of the time that your people are spending on social media compared to what that time could be used on other activities?
Again, it's part of the problems. It's people have work to do, but rather than do your work, you're on social media. You're
Scrolling.
doom scrolling when you should be doing your work, and then it's one of those things where you have to be able to self police.
Hmm.
You have to be able to self regulate. One of the things I don't like is people following the herd without thinking about the consequences for themselves. And I really worry for the next generation. I tell people that we're getting to an age where having an OnlyFans account is not going to be a big deal anymore. That the generation that's coming, having an account where you share explicit content, whether it's bikini content or actual sexual content, we're getting to an age where it's becoming destigmatized. It's not good.
It's not good.
As open-minded as I am,
Yes.
it's not good. I respect your right to put your sex tapes online. I respect your right to do that. It's your legal right. But please, how about you just don't do it? And that's not
Even though you
judgment.
have a right to do it, yeah. Yeah.
And that's not judgment. That's me saying, well, what if you find yourself in a place where there are consequences? So that those videos you put up when you were 19 or 20 years old, you look at those videos differently when you're a 35-year-old mother.
Or 40.
Or when you're a 45-year-old mother of a teenager.
Shy.
You know, how do you tell your child that this thing is bad when you did it yourself? I guess you can tell your child, but look, I did this and I learned my lessons. And that's why I'm telling you this. But what if you're not able to make that point? What if the only thing your child takes from it is, well, you did it too now? Or that's when you find out. Yeah, that's when you find out. Well, before you find out, your child has already seen it and chosen that to justify what they're doing. So
I know some children
you're often finding out too late.
That, let me make my own mistakes.
Yeah.
They tell you that. Say, Daddy, I hear you, but let me make my own mistakes. You know?
But my worry for you, child, is the mistakes that have such dire consequences that we can't escape.
And we've seen it already.
These are the ones I worry about. Not the ones that you can recover from. Not the ones where you can say mea maxima culpa and apologize for it. You own the blame, you apologize, and you move on. Some mistakes have such grievous consequences that you never get a second chance. And that worries me about social media. Is it making us miserable? Yes. Is it? I mean, look. Is it useful? Yes. I've learned, like you said, quite a few things. My friends tease me about going to University of YouTube because of look, do you remember when we used to trade, when we were trading stocks?
Yeah.
I mean, you learned a lot. Yeah, you learned a lot on the internet. A lot of those channels are gone now, but look, it's what it is.
Yeah, a lot of them have gone. Yeah,
because it was what was trending. But did I learn to code on social media? Yes. Take courses on YouTube and you learn.
Even people that have learned how to do interior decorating, they've learned how to language. I mean, you've accelerated us a few times with your Spanish.
Yeah, look, Duolingo, which is the social comes. It's social media. It's educational, but it's social media.
Duolingo is pretty good.
Duolingo is, I've learned quite a bit on Reddit. I keep up with the communities. Things I love, motorsports. So whether it's Formula One or MotoGP, whatever it is, and I'm able to keep up with these communities on Reddit and other social media. So you can't then turn around and say, "Oh, it's not useful." Of course, it's useful. I've learned stuff. AI. AI has been good for so many things, and I've learned a lot about AI on social media. The prompts I use every other week, I'm learning something new. It's all social media. But is it making us miserable? Absolutely.
Yes.
Would there be as many BBLs and boob jobs and cosmetic surgery without that pressure on people?
It's pressure.
It's pressure. Yeah. It's pressure. Oh, we're having a conversation the other day, and this girl was talking about how the standard for beauty used to be skinny women, right? Do you remember? It used to be skinny.
Models, yeah.
And models. And the standard has shifted now. And she was saying, look, all of you look at me now and say, oh, I'm so sexy. But I went to a particular phase where I was a fat girl. And, and in the same room, somebody else was saying the opposite. She says, when I was growing up, I was the one that was all sexy because I was, but now I'm just, people look at me and I get too skinny. I suddenly become unfashionable. And that's partly social media. Because unlike before where it was magazines and co, now it's in your face, it's around you.
That's you can't hide. You can't hide from it, yeah.
No, you can't hide from it.
You can't hide.
And so I worry for our children. You worry that they don't, and then there's also online bullying.
I know they were born into it.
Yeah.
You saw what happened with
digital natives,
professor.
Oh yeah.
May so rest in peace.
May so rest in peace.
There's so much cyberbullying, online bullying. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you that the impacts is
Yeah.
definitely making us more miserable.
Should I talk about a difficult one?
Which one?
People checking their spouses'
Another
phones.
topic. Another topic. That's another topic.
Ah,
That's
another
another
one for
topic.
another day.
That's it.
That's
And we need
another
to get
one for
somebody
another
else
day.
on that topic. We need to get somebody else to have
Yes,
a third
yes,
opinion. Listen,
I
wherever
agree.
you're joining us from, this is Two Grown Men. We appreciate you. We love your comments. We love your likes. Please support us on Two Grown Men. We are on Instagram, on TikTok, and of course, we're on YouTube. If you want to join the show, if you want to contribute in any way, shape, or form, please put it in the comment section or send us an email at twogrownmen@gmail.com. And we'll see you in the next one. Lami, any
Thank you
thoughts?
very much for watching us. No, I'm good. Thank you for watching us and have a great weekend.
And let us know, do you agree that social media has made us more miserable, or do you have a different take and you think actually it's the best thing that happened? Either way, let
Let us
us
know.
know. See you in the next one.
Good night.